Okay, before we even say hello to anyone, quick question. When was the last time you felt genuinely proud of yourself? Not proud of your team, not proud of a friend. Proud of you, alone, in the mirror.
Wow, we're starting deep. In the mirror? That's intense. Let me think. Honestly, it was last month, and it wasn't a big thing at all. But hold on, you can't throw a question like that and not answer it yourself.
Oh, I'll answer it, don't worry. But isn't it strange how easy that question is to avoid? We say we're proud of our kids, our country, our favorite football team, but proud of yourself? It almost sounds like something you should whisper.
Whisper it in the dark so nobody hears. Yeah, it's weird. It's like being proud of yourself is a bit rude, like you're showing off, even though every self-help book on the planet says you should love yourself.
Exactly. And that's the strange thing we want to dig into today. So, hello, and a big welcome to everyone listening. If you're new here, I'm Emma, and this is Jake. Today's conversation is about feeling proud of yourself, why it's so hard, why it matters, and how to get better at it.
And we'll tell you two very different stories, one tiny, one terrifying. Hopefully by the end you'll walk away with a question you can ask yourself every day, and maybe a few new English words along the way.
So, Jake, no escape. I asked first. You said last month, and it wasn't a big thing. What was it?
Okay, I taught my dad how to video call me on his phone, which sounds tiny, I know, but trust me, for my dad, that's like climbing Everest in flip-flops.
Everest in flip-flops. Okay, I need context. Your dad, video calls, where do we start?
My dad is a wonderful man, but technology just slides off him. He still prints out his emails so he can read them, on paper. He has a whole filing cabinet for his inbox. So when I told him he could see me and my kids on his phone, he looked at me like I'd offered him a trip to Mars.
A filing cabinet for emails? That's genuinely incredible. So how did the lessons go? I'm guessing there were some tough moments.
The first session took 2 hours for one call. And about 20 minutes in, I realized I was way in over my head, completely out of my depth. He kept pressing the wrong buttons, and I kept repeating, "No, Dad, the green one, the green one." I almost lost my voice.
I can hear your patience cracking from here. So what made it finally click? Because clearly something did.
I stopped being a teacher and became a tortoise. I slowed right down. Instead of giving him 10 steps, I gave him 1, and I wrote it down on paper. Paper, his language. And we practiced just turning the phone on 10 times, then the app, then the call. One tiny win at a time.
See, that's the thing I love. You met him in his world instead of dragging him into yours. That's a genuinely good skill, not just for teaching. So, the big moment. When did you know it had worked?
2 weeks later, my phone lit up with his name. He called me, on his own, no help, no notes. I almost didn't answer because I couldn't believe it. And there he was on the screen, this tiny little face waving at me like he'd won the lottery. He said, "Look, son, I did it." I'm not ashamed to say I got a bit emotional.
Okay, that's genuinely lovely. I'm not crying, you're crying. So what happens now? Does he call you every day?
Every Sunday without fail. And sometimes it's 7 in the morning just to show me his tomatoes. But you know what? I never mind. Every time I see his face on that screen, I remember the day he figured it out. And I feel that warmth all over again.
That's beautiful, Jake. And it proves something, doesn't it? Pride doesn't need a trophy or a stage. Sometimes it's just a phone call and a green button.
Exactly. And yet most of us wait for the huge milestones, the promotion, the diploma, the wedding. Meanwhile, the small moments are quietly passing us by, and we don't even notice them.
Okay, my turn now. I promised you a story. 3 years ago, my sister asked me to give a toast at her wedding, a short speech in front of 150 people. And my mouth said yes before my brain could stop it.
Wait, you? Public speaking? But you told me once that you're terrified of it. Physically terrified, I think you said.
I am. I nearly backed out, changed my mind at the last minute at least 10 times. I even wrote my sister a "sorry, I can't do it" text. I never sent it, but I wrote it. Twice.
Wow, okay, that's serious fear. So what stopped you? What made you stay in?
My sister, funnily enough. A week before the wedding, she came to me, completely stressed, and said, "You're my person. You're the one I trust up there." And I thought, okay, if she's brave enough to stand in front of everyone and promise her whole life to someone, I can stand up there for 5 minutes and talk about how much I love her.
That's a really good reason. But still, 5 minutes of pure panic. How did you actually get through it? Did you prepare or did you just wing it? No plan, no preparation.
Wing it? No way. I prepared like my life depended on it. I wrote the speech, then I rewrote it in simpler words, then I recorded myself saying it on my phone. And here's the embarrassing part. Every morning for 2 weeks, I practiced it in the shower. My shampoo bottles heard that speech more times than my sister did.
The shampoo bottles are the real audience, honestly. They never judge. They never interrupt. Okay, so the big day. Walk me through it. What was it like standing there?
I remember standing behind the curtain and my hands were freezing cold. You know that feeling. Butterflies in your stomach, like little nervous wings flapping around inside you. I genuinely thought I might be sick. And then they announced my name, and I walked up there and I just opened my mouth and started talking.
And? Come on, don't leave me hanging. Did it go well?
It went okay. I forgot one line and mixed up my sister's middle name, which made everyone laugh, including me. My voice went a bit wobbly at the end because I got emotional, but people clapped. My sister cried. I didn't faint, which I'm counting as a personal victory. And afterwards, an old family friend came up to me and said, "I've heard a lot of speeches. That one came from the heart."
From the heart. Wow, that's the best compliment you can get, honestly. But here's my question. Did you feel proud right then in that moment, or did it hit you later?
Later, much later. In the moment, I was just relieved. Relieved it was over, relieved I hadn't thrown up on the wedding cake. It was that night, lying in bed, replaying it all in my head. That's when the pride arrived. I kept thinking, I did that. I actually did that.
Okay, so here's something interesting. Both our stories had this delay. We weren't proud during the moment. It arrived afterwards when we look back. Is that just how pride works?
I think so, yes. It's like looking back at a mountain after you've climbed it. At the top, you're just exhausted and relieved. The pride comes later, when you turn around and see how far you've come, which is maybe why we miss it so often. We're too busy rushing to the next thing.
That's a lovely way to see it. And, English is full of little expressions about pride, like bursting with pride, when you feel so proud you can barely contain it, or a pat on the back, when someone gives you a little sign that they're pleased with what you did.
Ooh, and on cloud 9. That's when you're so happy you feel like you're floating above the world. Honestly, after that wedding, I was on cloud 9 for a whole week. I kept replaying the clapping in my head.
On cloud 9. Nice one. I've also heard walking on air, which is the same idea. It's funny how many of these idioms are about being up in the sky. Maybe pride genuinely lifts you up and shame pulls you down.
Okay, let me ask you something a bit uncomfortable, because I think we might disagree here. Does pride need an audience? You had a phone call with your dad. I had 150 people clapping. So is the big public moment worth more?
Ooh, that's a sharp question. I want to say no, obviously. My proudest moment had an audience of exactly one, my dad. It didn't feel small at all. But I see what you're getting at. What about you?
Honestly, part of me does look for the audience. The clapping felt amazing. Being seen felt amazing. When I finished my first 10-kilometer run, just me in an empty park, I felt good, but it wasn't the same rush.
See, that's exactly it. Nobody saw that run. Nobody clapped. Nobody even knew about it. But you trained for months in the rain and the cold. That's quiet pride. And honestly, I think it's the stronger kind. It doesn't disappear when the room empties.
Okay, that's actually fair. The room empties, right? The claps fade, the cake gets eaten. But the run, the training, the early mornings, that's yours. Nobody can take that away from you. So maybe the real question isn't, was it big? It's, did you work for it?
Exactly. And that's the line between pride and arrogance, I think.
Pride says, I worked hard and I earned this. Arrogance says, I'm better than everyone else. Same feeling, completely different directions.
I love that. Pride looks inward at your own effort. Arrogance looks outward, comparing yourself to other people. And that's why we should let ourselves feel proud more often. It's not a dirty word. It's self-respect with a name.
So why are we so bad at it? Why do we run away from the feeling? I think we're scared of sounding big-headed, full of ourselves, a little rude. So we do this strange thing where we downplay our wins. Someone says, that was great, and we answer, oh, it was nothing. Sound familiar?
It's me. I'm the worst. I reject compliments like a body rejecting a bad organ transplant. Someone says, great job, and I instantly say, no, it was fine. I just got lucky. My brain simply refuses to accept praise.
A bad organ transplant? That's the most dramatic way anyone has ever described being modest. But you're right, we all do it. And actually, there's a useful language point hiding here. I'm proud of you is easy to say, but I'm proud of myself? People trip over it.
That's so true. I'm proud of you rolls off the tongue. We say it to kids, to friends, to our team. But I'm proud of myself gets softened. Oh, I'm quite pleased with how it went. We water it down like weak coffee.
Quite pleased. We're so scared of sounding confident that we water down our own success. So listeners, here's your tiny English challenge. Stand in front of a mirror and say, I'm proud of myself, out loud. It feels strange for a week, and then it starts to feel true.
Great homework. And it's funny. Looking back, I can't remember my English mistakes at all, but I can remember the day I told a joke in English and people laughed. Not at me, with me. I still carry that memory around like a medal.
Not at me, with me. That's the whole journey right there. It's a tiny difference in words, but a huge difference in feeling. And it's the kind of memory that keeps you going on the hard days.
Okay, so let's talk about catching these moments in daily life because they slip away fast. I'll go first. When do I feel quietly proud these days? Honestly, these little podcast moments. Every time we finish recording an episode and I listen back, I think, we made that. We created that from nothing but an idea. That's my quiet pat on the back.
That's a good one. Mine is cooking. I'm a disaster in the kitchen. I burned pasta, which I didn't even know was possible. But last week, I made a proper curry from scratch, all by myself, and I sat there eating it feeling like a professional chef.
Burned pasta? How do you burn pasta? You boil water, you throw it in, you wait. That takes real talent. But the curry, that's brilliant. And that's the point, isn't it? Small skill, real effort, big pride.
Exactly. And here's a strange question. Is pride sweeter when it's a surprise? When you didn't expect to succeed, and then suddenly you did?
Ooh, I think it is actually. There's a special flavor when you surprise yourself. When you go into something thinking, no chance, and you come out the other side thinking, wait, I did that? That surprise makes it so much sweeter.
Okay, your turn for a confession. Have you ever felt proud of something completely silly? Because I have. I once assembled a flat-pack wardrobe in under an hour, no extra screws left over. I called my mom to tell her. She was not impressed.
You called your mom about the wardrobe? That's adorable. And yes, I have one of those. I changed a car tire by myself once on the side of the road in the rain. I felt like a superhero. I also called someone to tell them. They asked if I was okay. I was more than okay. I was on cloud 9.
On cloud 9 with a flat tire. That's the spirit. But there's a serious point hiding inside the silliness. Being proud of small, everyday things is a sign of a healthy mind. It means you can enjoy your own life. You don't need a trophy to feel like a champion.
Yes, and that's the part that matters most to me. Because so many of us wait for someone else's permission to feel good. We wait for a boss, a teacher, a parent to say, well done, before we allow ourselves to feel proud. We're just standing there, waiting for approval that may never come.
Waiting for permission. Ooh, that's powerful. So how do we stop? How do we get better at noticing our own wins? Because I think it's a skill like any other. It can be trained.
I think you're right, and it starts with tiny habits. For me, it's saying it out loud. When I finish something hard, I literally say, "Well done, me," in the kitchen, out loud, while my cat watches me like I've lost my mind. It works. The cat is my witness.
The cat is my witness. I'm stealing that. And you know what helps me? Writing it down. I keep a note on my phone called Good Stuff. Every night I add one small thing. Even didn't shout at anyone in traffic. After a bad week, that list is proof.
It's like collecting evidence that you're showing up for yourself. And on a gray day, you can scroll through it and remember, oh wait, I did do things. I did hard things.
Exactly. And this is such a good trick for language learners too, because learning English is full of days where you feel completely stuck, days where you forget every word you ever knew.
Oh, absolutely. That's part of the journey. And that's why a wins list is perfect for learning. Today, I understood a whole conversation without translating. Today, I used a phrasal verb and someone understood me. Those small victories are the fuel that keeps you going.
Fuel, that's the word. Pride is fuel. When you're proud of a small step, you want to take the next one and the next one. That's how you climb the mountain, one tiny win at a time.
And that's the question we want to hand to everyone listening today. What did I do today that I can be proud of? Ask yourself that every evening, and your whole week changes, I promise.
But let's be honest for a second. What about the days when we fail? Because you can't feel proud every day, right? Some days you drop the ball completely. You mess things up no matter how hard you tried.
Of course, and that's okay. Proud doesn't mean perfect. You can fail at something and still be proud that you tried. Actually, especially then. The trying is the part worth being proud of.
I love that. Okay, before we wrap this up, I want to play a little game. I'll say a situation and you tell me proud moment or not. No thinking, just your first answer. Ready?
A game show? In the middle of our serious conversation? Fine, I'm in. But if you ask me about the wardrobe again, I'm walking out.
Deal. Round 1, you say, "I'm proud of myself" out loud in English, and your friend understands you perfectly. No translation in your head. Proud moment?
Huge proud moment. That's like a mini graduation. The words traveled from your brain straight to your mouth. No translator in between. That's a win.
Round 2, you rehearse a presentation for a week, you deliver it, and nothing. No applause, no comments, just silence. And then someone says, "Next question, please."
Ouch, cold. But you know what? Still a proud moment. You did the scary thing. Their silence is not your failure.
Their silence is not your failure. That's going on my good stuff list. Okay, last round. You make a mistake in English, you mix up 2 words, people giggle, and your face goes red. Proud moment?
Absolutely not. That's an embarrassment moment. That's a 3 a.m, replay it in your head moment. But wait, here's the twist. If you kept talking after the giggle, if you didn't freeze or run away, then yes, that's a proud moment in disguise.
Ooh, a twist ending. I should have known you'd flip it. But you're right, courage is usually invisible. Nobody claps for the person who keeps going after a mistake, but that person deserves a pat on the back more than anyone.
Okay, this is getting deep, and I love it. But let's come back down to earth and give our listeners something practical. 3 takeaways. You start, and I'll finish.
Deal. Takeaway number 1, keep a wins list. Every day, write down one thing you're proud of, and tiny is better. Number 2, say it out loud. Well done, me. It feels ridiculous for a week, then it starts to feel true.
And number 3 from me, treat yourself like someone you love. If your best friend passed an exam, you'd throw a party. If you pass it, you say, "Oh, it was easy." Stop that. Be your own biggest fan. You're stuck with yourself for life.
Stuck with yourself for life. Terrifying and comforting at the same time. And one more for our English learners. After you finish a conversation in English, don't ask, "Was my grammar perfect?" Ask, "Did we understand each other?" If the answer is yes, proud moment. Grammar will come with time.
Yes! Communication first, perfection later. I wish someone had told me that years ago. I spent so long being afraid of mistakes that I barely spoke at all. What a waste of good conversation.
And here's one more thing. Be generous with "I'm proud of you" too. Tell your friends, your family, your kids. It costs nothing, and it changes someone's day.
Yes, absolutely. And hearing it from someone else can also teach you how to say it to yourself. It's like a mirror. Other people's pride shows you what your own could look like.
A mirror. I like that. Okay, final question for you before we go. If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing about pride, what would it be?
I tell my younger self that you don't have to be perfect to be proud. Trying badly is still trying, and trying is the whole game. What about you?
I'd tell teenage me it's okay to look silly. That's where the best stories come from. And I tell him that the things he's scared of doing are usually the things he'll be most proud of.
Trying badly is still trying. That's going in my good stuff list forever. Okay, so here's our challenge for everyone listening. This week, catch yourself being proud, even for 1 second. And if you can't find a moment, create one. Make the phone call, start the speech, open the app and press the green button.
Press the green button. Full circle. I love it. And if this conversation made you smile or think or remember your own proud moment, share it with someone. Pride multiplies when you share it. It doesn't divide.
To our learners, every episode you finish is another small win. Add it to your list. You're doing better than you think you are.
And that's not a compliment. That's a fact.
Thank you all so much for being here with us today. And remember, you don't have to wait for someone else to clap first. Clap for yourself. You've earned it.
And when you look back at this year, you'll see that the moments you're proudest of are the ones where you were brave, not the ones where you were perfect. So be brave, be kind to yourself, and take a moment to feel proud. And remember, the person you're proudest of is closer than you think. It's you. Take care, everyone.